Tom's Fury, Tom's Generation X. Quick one, really. I always say that, don't I? Quick one. Then it ends up being a long one, or I say it's a long one, it's a quick one. Never works out the way I plan. I saw Paul Thorpe's video. I kind of thought it was kind of sad, really. And this is part of what, in a way, makes him frustrating to me. But I don't want to say it in a hateful way, so I want to say it in a way that perhaps will get through. And that is that you don't need to be asking, if everything you said is true, and it is, then, and if you left for the reasons that you said and all this other stuff, then you got no one to apologise to or to ask for anything. Like, and this is the bit I really don't understand, is I think that there are always, like, people who make these shitty comments and that, the people that don't have that empathy for what you've been through, they're called psychopaths or sociopaths, and you don't want fuck all to do with them anyway. But there's unless people are suddenly leaving your channel every day or I don't know, deserting you or whatever, then you're fine. Like, you've got loads of support. That's what I don't understand. There's loads and loads of support out there. And you don't need to ask people to be understanding because they already are. That's what I mean. And like, in the people who talk to you about you, whether they like you or not, they're understanding either way. Um, but you got, the point of it is, you've got loads of people out there that support you, and I don't know if you see that or not. So I'm sort of saying, look around you. Like, people do support you, and this is sort of one of the things I was kind of, perhaps harshly, but criticising you for, is like not seeing that for a start. It's like there's so much support there for you. I've seen it even on my channel. People are going to bat for you. So the support is there. And like I say, people in this movement, something I've seen from year one, is people are very understanding over things you'd be really surprised about. And that's why you're always best being honest with people. Because sometimes I don't like it, but generally speaking, you'll always come out on top. And nobody can hold anything against you. So it's not really my place to keep addressing things like this, but I just, I just don't think he needs to apologise to anybody. Or, like I say, if everything he said is true and I've got no reason to believe otherwise, then, yeah, no apology. No asking people for what you've already got, which is support. Loads and loads of support. It's everywhere. So, yeah, I wouldn't focus on the negative stuff, because those people are sociopaths, to not care. I mean, and also that you just ignore it because you're never going to get those type of people to be decent, But what you will do is you make them worse by addressing them. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And I'll leave that there. I kind of felt like, you don't need to do this. Yeah, On other news, I appreciate that I went too hard and too fast in the video the other day. But at the same time, I do hope there's just some comments that have been made, and I do hope that people understand that there's been a few people that have told me what this channel was built on recently, and I seem to think they seem to forget who built it. And what this channel was built on was the Honesty channel. That it was called the Honesty channel when we first started it. It was pretty much its nickname. And I had opinions about everything. And something changed, and that was that I joined Team Tommy. And it made me have to be a lot more, not politically correct, but correct, if you like, in a different kind of way. And I had to watch what I said a little bit more. Nobody said specifically you can't say this or that, but, you're just aware that you're representing blah, So, I toned it down for that reason. But please understand that the original me was always No, admittedly not getting in people's dramas, that's true, but was combative, and would go after things and go after not so much people, but it would happen. Um, but you know, if I got a bone between my teeth, but usually people would trust me to know that there was a good reason for it or a good motive behind it. Like with Paul, I got his attention, um, didn't I? Um, and that's not even gloating. It's just saying I got his attention, didn't I? Um, and have now I've got his attention. Have you seen me try and rip him to pieces or no? No, not at all. So um, I got what I needed to get out of the situation. May not be the best way to do it, but it was the only single way that would work. It's the only single way that would work. Um, just to tell someone, you've got the support you fucking need. It's there already. You know? However, I gotta get my messages across. It's how I have to do it. I'm a small channel, so therefore I have to come up with inventive ways of getting people to listen. Um, and that's that. I've always been someone who speaks his mind. I remember once upon a time, I criticised Richard Inman, and it wasn't a criticism actually of him. It was a criticism of an action that wasn't even his own doing. So I wasn't even having a go at him. It was just about an action. And the movement lost its mind. But half of it was on my side, half of it wasn't. And I didn't want it to be in sides because it was never an attack on him in the first place. But sometimes that can, you know. But I remember that, and that was, you know. But at the same time, so many people come, you know, support you as well. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you know, there's always been a combative element to what I do. But yeah, there's also a lot of feeling and empathy and other stuff to what I do as well. There's a balance. There's a balance to it. But make no mistake, the goal has always been to sniff out wrong. If you get it wrong, you back off or you apologise or whatever else. If you're not sure, you just hold your ground, see what you can find out. And if you are sure, you know, depending on what it is, again, if it's just drama, then you don't need to know about drama. But if it's something genuinely evil or bad, then you need to know about it. Whether it's left, right, or anything else, you know. Obviously, our focus is where our focus is on our normal work. But what I'm saying is, you know, um, it's like, you know, I'll use the analogy again, one more time. You shouldn't step over a homeless person to go to London to campaign for homeless people, and at the same time, you shouldn't go and attack another movement on the left if the one on the right is corrupt and you haven't fixed things that you know are wrong. I'm not saying I've done any of that. What I'm saying is, um, there's nothing wrong with looking at your own and questioning it. Again, not perhaps maybe the way I did, and having a rant about it, you know, when someone else's feelings are at stake, I realise that. But I'm talking about generally speaking, you know. Um, and I suppose with Paul, it's a different kettle of fish. We're on the same side, you know. I genuinely have no wish to hurt his feelings. Genuinely, none. Whereas there are evil people that I've gone after before that I wouldn't have cared if their feelings were hurt or not. It's a very different kind of situation. Do you know what I mean? So when you genuinely have no ill will towards someone, you know, it's very very different. But make no mistake, there's been some people, like Owen Jones, who I do consider to be somewhat evil, who I would still rant, rave, and I will rip to pieces, and I will make no apology for ripping Owen Jones to pieces. And there'll be other people, if it comes to it, that I will, like Sarah Garvey, when I went on a rant about him. Those were some of the most liked videos because my rant was absolutely perfect. Um, so just don't forget that, please. That's all I'm asking, is that there's another side of me that has always done that kind of thing. Yeah, this one was a bit different. I get that, but you know, The idea of me doing sunshine, rainbows, and cute little animations for the rest of the time is also not going to grow a channel either. There's something in between. I know what it is, but yeah, I think one thing that I think is that being a guy that doesn't speak up very often means that people expect you never to speak up, and it's like I have an opinion too, and I won't be quietened up. What's the point of me fighting the state and the people? Sorry, the state and the government and everybody else if I'm going to be shut down by people? None at all. Free speech is free speech. But in terms of how you use it, yeah, sometimes you gotta just curb it a little bit. But this is the thing about people egging me on to do reaction videos. Reaction is exactly that. It's your most extreme emotional state to watching something, as opposed to a breakdown video or something where you've watched it, gone through different emotional states, then sort of collected your thoughts, and then done a breakdown video. Two completely different types of video. So a lot of people telling me do a reaction video. Well, my reaction to things is very passionate, So, yeah, perhaps breakdown videos are better. I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling way too much, but I didn't want to do like a response video to that stuff because I don't think most of that was even aimed at me anyway. Because most of it, yeah, I'm not involved in whatever conversations have gone on between whoever. I've spoke about him, other than this video, about 6 minutes of my life. So, don't really know what else is going on like that. Don't really want to or need to know. I've got my own mission and my own things to do. Like I said, the door is always open. My hand is always extended to Paul Thorpe. If he ever wants to talk privately, publicly, I'm here. And that is all I can offer. Is my hand and my ear, and I'm always here. That's and with that comes as much understanding as I can offer, which is quite a bit, So that's the best thing I can really sort of say and finish on with Paul Thorpe, because I don't want to keep on this train, and that's it, I think I sort of leave it there with Paul and just wish him well. And like I say, I'm here if you need me, if you want to come and talk to me, anything, it's fine. I'm totally here for it. With the other stuff, you said it. A lot of people have said it yourself. I'm a very passionate person. That means I'm gonna make passionate videos at times. If I didn't have that passion, then do you think I would have even got as far as I've got, or done some of the things I've done, or yeah, passion can backfire, of course, but that same passion has got me to do things that I might otherwise not have done. It's got me to do good things, it's given me the courage to do the right thing, and it's a double-edged sword. Everything's a double-edged fucking sword. Everything's got yin and yang, but I hope there's no one out there that thinks quieting me down is a solution to anything, because it won't work that way. Anyway, it's not a moan, it's just an honest, not even vent really, just an honest expression of feelings. I hope everyone is well. I hope you're all okay. Love you all. And yeah, may everybody get a decent sleep tonight. I don't want to cost anybody a night's sleep. So may everybody sleep well tonight. Take care.